Okay, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and fishing accomplices, good morning and welcome back to fishing. So it is August 27th, 2025, and it's good to say I am back home in Montauk. It's been a while, but yeah, today we're gonna try and make it happen. I've got a few days out here. I'm not saying I'm only gonna fish in Montauk. I've got a few places lined up that I'd like to try, but today we are doing this because the wind forecast looks a little iffy, and this day looked like it was probably the best one to get out. So yeah, we're gonna do what we try and do best out here, do some bottom fishing, mainly for fluke, sea bass, and anything else in between. I haven't heard a lot of reports, but I know basically all over the place the fluke bite's been a bit tough ever since Hurricane Aaron moved through. So I'm hoping things are finally starting to settle down, because that was like a week ago. But yeah, I did try a South Shore Bay on my way out here, and I did okay. I got a lot of shorts. It took a while for me to find those fish, but knowing that, I'll probably try that again one of these days too. But either way, I'm sure we can put something together. I'd really like to get a fish dinner for tonight, nice and fresh, and that's what I got planned. So we're gonna be jigging gulp, shads, got some strip bait too. So between those three things, I'm hoping we will make this a good one where we can bring some fish home tonight. So thank you as always for checking it out. Stay tuned, because it's time to get some fishing accomplished. We're gonna do a long one today, so we're really gonna try and fish pretty much both tides as long as we need to get a dinner. I don't think it's gonna be easy today, but I could be wrong, and hopefully I'm wrong, but we're gonna do whatever we can to make it happen today. All right, so I'm gonna try a number of things today, but the first thing I wanna do is just get a feel for what kind of weight I can hold with in this particular tide that we're getting in. I'm gonna try this, I think 3/4 ounce gulp paddle shad. Sorry, the 3/4 ounce jig and a gulp paddle shad 5-inch. See what's down there. Sea bass will definitely hit this, and probably a fluke too, so let's see what happens. All right, let's see what we can do with this paddle shad. Don't have much of a drift right now. Just to be expected this time. Not sure this paddle shad stands much of a chance against a lot of the small fish we're going to be encountering today, but figured I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. I knew these paddle shads wouldn't really stand much of a chance fishing here. I think maybe a bluefish got a hold of it, so let's try this Elias shad that's you know, one specifically for situations such as this. Probably a little big. I think I have some smaller ones actually. So I do have these Elias shads that are supposed to be more resistant to being chomped up like what I have been fishing. And I think this will actually be a perfect size for this kind of the species I'll be targeting today. So just jig that up. It's very, very tough. Since this isn't scent impregnated, we're going to throw a little Procure here if we can find it in our mess of stuff. There it is. We are barely moving right now, so this is kind of the time to experiment, if any. Let's see what happens. That definitely felt like a bluefish that chomped that paddle shad. Line just kind of went limp for a hot second. Small one probably, but life down there. Okay, we're starting to get some kind of drift, and I definitely got a few good hits in the last couple drifts, probably from sea bass. So I'm actually going to switch this jig over to my lighter rod, because this has 5-pound test rate on it. It should get to the bottom a bit quicker and hold a bit better. So let's go over that same drift I just did at least once more, because I had a few what felt like good sea bass hits. And depending on how that goes, we might switch tactics, because now that we have a drift, we can start getting serious about fluke fishing and sea bass fishing for that matter. There he is. That's a fluke. Feels like a fluke at least. Not a big one. glad there's fluke here. It's a good sign. These aren't terrible shorts either. That's a better fish. That's a good fish. Not a great fish, but it's a fluke. Let's do one last longer drifter here right now. Fluke. That works. Right back out. Felt like maybe a sea bass. Little though. That's a sea bass. Gonna have to do better than that though. I'm gonna try like one or two drifts with this particular setup. Then I'm gonna up to some much bigger profile stuff to see if we can get some much larger fish. Okay, we're not playing around anymore. We're really just going for big fluke now. We got the gulp, bucktail, strip bait combo. Might be a bit more strip than I need, but I know a big fluke would go for it, so let's see if it hits the marks. We're getting bites, but it's not a lot of commitment with the plastic right now, and sometimes they just want meat. So let's see if we can meet them at their level. All right, big strip bait style for a big fish. That's a nice fish. Maybe not. Where are you at? It's not a terrible fluke, but we can certainly upgrade. It's probably 17, 18 inches. Let's go repeat that drift. Sure, that might be a sea bass. Got some bait in the water too. It is getting a little better. Oops. Wow, I was reeling it up and this fish grabbed it at probably like 5 cranks off the bottom. It's a fluke too, I'm pretty sure. Not a keeper, but I'll take it. I got one more drift in me over here, I'm gonna move. Up in this spot. It's a good fish. Maybe not, I don't know, he's hooked funny. Now he feels like nothing. Jeez. It's like he didn't even know what was going on. Just came right up with no resistance whatsoever. Okay. He wasn't big enough. Got some isolated structure I want to check out en route to my next spot. Not too deep. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what happens if we lock on this. Try not to up my weight any more than I have to. Better one than the last one. Still won't do it, but nice to have some action. Yeah, we're pretty much locked on this rock. It's one of those days where it's like, it's not so much that I can anchor lock, just whether I should or not, because it's a little sloppy out here. A little better. Still won't do it. Try one or two more drops. There aren't any keepers within then, and it's time to move on. There's plenty of rocks to investigate. Maybe better than the last one. It's best one so far. Still not quite, but close. That one had more fin, maybe, but not quite. It's maybe 15 inches. Chunky guy. Oh man. That was such a subtle grab. I don't think he's big enough, but that was very big. That was quite a surprise. Alright. Try for 3 more minutes. If we can't get a keeper, we're moving. That's not the direction we want to see these fish going in. Try for one more and then we'll make a move. Alright, this is probably about as steep as we're going to go today. Been holding off on fishing here until the tide is really moving out. It could be. It always takes a little while in this spot. As you can tell, we got quite the wind to contend with, but we'll see if we can make this work. If not, we'll just go back inshore. Sea bass. Where are you at now? that drift reset took a very long time. It's not because we can't move forward fast, it's just the seas are getting a bit too high. Having to cut the motor just to, you know, not have them go straight over the bow. I'll give it at least one more go before we potentially move in shallower and maybe throw in the towel. There he is. That's a good fish. That's a really good fish. About time. This one should be worth a measure, at the very least. Yeah, that's close. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that one's a keeper. That's a keeper for sure. Oh my god. It's not a giant, but it's about darn time. Definitely had to work for that fish. Probably wouldn't be such hard work if this weather was a bit more cooperative. Let's see what we're working with. I know he's a keeper, so let's not tool around with this fish until he's on the stringer. Okay, let's have a look. It's not a giant, but it's a very nice one. 22 and a half, almost 22 and a quarter. Certainly not upset with that. That'll make some nice dinner. My first keeper fluke in quite some time. And hopefully we'll get another one to join them. Okay, I was legitimately worried that we might be going home empty-handed, but fortunately that is not going to happen today. And also, fortunately, we have a seltzer to enjoy today. This is Borjomi Sparkling Natural Mineral Water. High mineral content, if you were wondering. I don't think this has any flavor, but let's see what we're going into. Just plain old-fashioned seltzer. Actually, no, there's something in this. This is very odd. It's plain, but it's like a flavor of plain. I don't even know how to describe it. It says mineral water with natural CO2 added. I'm not the biggest fan of like just plain old seltzer, but this is distinct, so I'll give it that. This might be one of the ones I got at the Polish store. I can't really remember. Bottled in Georgia, yeah, so this is Eastern European. Oh yeah, I will give this very different take on plain seltzer. I'll give it an 8. It wasn't overwhelmingly expensive, and it is definitely unique, so yeah, thanks for sticking out this long. Let's see if we can get another fish or two before we get blown out. All right, I don't know if we'll be able to sneak out another fish from this spot, but we'll give it our best. I mean, they're definitely biting better now than they had been. But let's see what we can do. That fish was right in about 70-ish feet of water, which was on a ledge going up from about 80. So let's see what we can do. There's definitely quite a few fish around here. I'm just not sure there'll be a lot of keepers, but we will try. We will try. us. That's a good fish. Yeah, it's not that good. Doesn't feel terrible. I don't think so. Another decent short. Got a couple more drifts left in me, but I'm probably gonna call it pretty soon. These conditions are just absolute trash today. But it is what it is, and you take what you get. It's not every week that I get this kind of time off in the middle of the week, you know, especially with the school year starting, so. Well, that's going to have to be it for today. Very tough day of fishing. I think it could have been good, just the wind and the tide and all that just really did not jive with me today. But there certainly are fish around. I'm happy to see that the Fluke are starting to make their way back perhaps after that storm, but certainly left a little bit to be desired. But at least we got that one good keeper. Missed a few fish that felt okay too, but it's hard to say if they were actually legal size fish. But I'll maybe try and get in here at least one more time before I have to leave town, but I do want to try some other spots as well. So yeah, best I can really say was just keeping it down there. Had to fish relatively heavy weight and had to do a lot of work, but fortunately the motor did help ease some of the burden. Did seem like the Fluke were a bit more dialed in on the strip bait, but they were hitting those paddle shads and those Elias shads as well. So they're certainly active. Now's really the last good go to get them, I think, inshore before things start to really cool off and get tough, but I'll take it. Hopefully I'll get some more good Fluke sessions in the not too distant future, and I'll catch you then. Goodbye from fishing.